welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET now. It's time for The Money Show's ICICI Prudential ETF Corner that we conduct for you every Thursday to talk about this amazing product called Exchange Traded Funds. And joining me on the show is Chintan Haria. He's the Head of Products and Strategy with ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. Chintan, lovely having you back with us on The Money Show. Thank you so much for taking out time. So to start with, we started off with just plain Jane ETFs or exchange traded funds that usually used to track the benchmark. That's either the Nifty or the Sensex, etc., etc. But now you also have sectoral ETFs that essentially track a particular theme or a particular sector. So how are they different from, your market cap based ETFs?
Yeah, good evening to all your viewers and hi Mubina. If we see from a perspective of evolution, which you likely mentioned, that earlier there were just Nifty or say large cap based ETFs. Then we moved on to sectoral ETFs along with smart beta ETFs. I think smart beta ETFs is what we spoke last week about. And if we see this week on the sectoral front, in India, the good part is that we are not a country wherein only one sector, is involved in the growth of the country. There are so many large sectors which are there: banking, information technology, pharmaceuticals, auto, oil and gas. So each of these sectors represents an investable unit, which can be created in the form of an ETF. And in that sense, if you look at the IT ETF or the information technology ETF, it fits in well in that bracket of one of the largest earners of foreign exchange, one of the largest recruiters of talented individuals within the space, and also very important in the context of the fact that that sector is responsible for large amount of foreign exchange we earn, which we need for sure for paying off the oil import bill of $100 billion that we have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. So Chintan, let's talk then about, which all sectoral ETFs are out there. What are the sectoral ETFs, that you have where investors can invest and put in their money?
Yes, so the sectoral ETFs which are out there and also the ones which we have, the largest sector in India today is banking sector. And that's the sectoral ETF which we have. It's called the ICICI Prudential Banking ETF. And also along with that, since in India, we've seen a shift happening towards private sector banks in terms of they garnering a larger market share. We also have the ICICI Prudential Private Banks ETF, right? So these two are on the banking side. Along with that, on the sectoral front, I think 2 months back, we launched the ICICI Prudential IT ETF, which is a sector of information technology. So these are the ones which are predominantly available, the larger ones. There are also in the market PSU bank ETFs, which we don't currently have. But I think those are the ones which I can remember as far as sector ETFs are concerned. And I'm sure as we move along and we build the bouquet, there would be other sectoral ETFs which also the industry will see being launched as we move along.
So, I think technology is that one sector that everybody is very interested in, especially, this year. We've seen stocks as well in the tech space rally significantly. The Nifty IT has been one of the best performers. So that's, the one sectoral ETF that you have, and I want to ask you about. Tell us a bit about that sector, that IT sector ETF of yours.
Yeah, so if you look at the IT sector ETF, it is a blend of the 10 odd stocks in the IT sector, which are the leaders in their pack. So if you actually look at the sectoral the components of the IT ETF, you have all the large names which an investor would want to get invested in the market capitalization weightage. So the weightage of the stocks is based on the market cap. So the stocks with the highest free float weight would have the highest weight. So we take the free float market cap as the base. And you will find these stocks to be a good addition to your overall portfolio. And if you want to participate in the technology sector, this becomes a good product to fit your requirement in terms of participating in India's technology sector. It's as simple as going on the exchange and buying the ICICI Prudential IT ETF. And if you have larger amounts that you want to invest, then there's also a provision for you to come to our AMC and get the units created at the AMC above a certain amount which you may want to invest.
Okay, got it. Chintan, like I said, that IT has been seeing a lot of interest. That ETF as well has outperformed the the benchmark. So, is that something that you would recommend the IT ETF to investors for their investments?
So let's look at what the IT sector in India is doing and what are the potential. If we look at it, I was just looking at some of the numbers that globally there is $3 trillion of IT sector spend, out of which $1 trillion is outsourced. And out of the $1 trillion which is outsourced, about $250 billion gets outsourced outside of the home country. And India's share in that outsourcing is almost 70%. So $170 billion is the outsourcing share which the Indian companies, garner, which is very huge. We are we are leaders in that outsourcing pack. Now, we also, obviously, over the next 5 years, I think NASSCOM has predicted that this number of $170 billion can potentially be much higher, close to $350 billion. Now, if that happens, naturally, the Indian companies will grow their business, and with they grow their business, along with the business growth, their market capitalizations may also grow. So as a sector which has the potential growth, especially in the COVID times, if we see wherein the IT spends have increased naturally, because everything that we do in our life, including this interview, wouldn't have been possible without information technology. And that's where, as part of the overall portfolio, we believe that the IT sector ETF fits in well as far as the investors' long-term wealth creation is concerned as a sectoral investment in the investor's portfolio.
Okay, great. Chintan, it was a pleasure having you with us. Thanks as always for joining in and, sort of educating our viewers as well with respect to the world of ETFs and, how that basket as well has so many different elements that, investors can pick and choose from.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, on that note, we'll slip into a very short break right here on the show. Don't go anywhere.